ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Nuncio di Bartolo and Roberta Sampieri.
I would like to start with a study of Roland Berger that gave a very important vision about the market. In the next 5 years, we will have a peak of this technology, of the use of the equipment, machine for this technology. And we expect an important range to cover, 25–40% of the market. So, in particular, for metal machine, for metal application. Other slide, very important in this study of Roland Berger, is that at the moment, the automotive use of this technology is in middle, is still middle, not in a very expansive side. We have a good expansive in medical. Now, the medical industry is ready for mass production, for high volumes, no automotive. Okay, aerospace, but in automotive, the most important applications are in concept, in prototyping, and we began in low volume or small series. But we haven't the condition today to reach the mass production. In this slide, I would like to share with you why. What, in our opinion, the root causes for this status of industry in automotive side. We can see one part of benefit of this technology, but at the same time, were also the constraints. For example, we heard for the other colleague before, there is the reduction of weight is a good target reached. The freedom of design is a very new perspective. In the same time, there is for manufacturing no need for tools, for warehousing. It's possible to reduce the working capital. And other very important things to customize the product for clients. But in the other side, there is constraints, material. At the moment, the cost of material is expensive, is also expensive. And other things, the production is low because the time, the speed of production is low. The size of components is smaller. There is no big size. And it's necessary to create a condition for a good process, to certify a quality process. So, in this vision, Fiat, Chrysler Automobile, our company, decided to start to improve the use of this technology. And now, my colleague Roberta, as I explained before, the head of our department center in Additive, explained our roadmap, but at the same time, our activity and innovation.
So, Good afternoon again to everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here to share with you our perspective and experience about additive in FCA. So, too much fuss? Okay. So FCA started using 3D printing from the 90s as a technology for rapid prototyping. In those years, we need to help designers to have a physical representation of what they thought and model on a screen. And the requests were very simple at those years because maybe they needed only to check dimensions and in some cases the aesthetical rendering of parts. But today we still use additive during our product development process. And the first phase that which we take advantage using additive is the style approval. You know, style is an important issue of a car, you know. And in this case, we have to check and to test many variants of the single small inner parts of a car. And we need, in the 90s, we need only just to have an idea of what would be the style of a part of a car. But now, today, we need to have more precise, more detailed parts. We need a good surface representation. We need to touch, we need to feel all the inner parts of a vehicle. And in this way, additive is a partner. We can say it's a partner, it's a must that help in this way to develop the style of a car that will be probably in the market 1 year and after later. So it's a very important phase. I bring you as an example the tri-lobe that we developed for the new Alfa Romeo family with Giulia and Stelvio. We produced many variants of this part, and together with this, many hundreds of the inner part, just to decide the style of those cars. So what we need now is good materials, speed, because our top management needs many versions of a style just to decide which is the best. And so, again, additive is really a partner for us and for our style department. But it's not only, the style approval is not only the phase where we take advantage using additive. The second phase is the following. So, is the design phase. Okay. Here, all the designers in this phase has to develop a lot of technical solutions, and they need to test their solutions. If in the 90s they only check dimensions in the layout verification, now they need to test physically the parts, and they need, more important, a significant feedback from this test. So actually, with additive, we can do it because there are new materials with the same performances, with the same mechanical characteristic of the traditional ones that we have on a normal production. I mean, for both plastic or metals. So this is an important phase because to improve the performance, to study the best technical solution of a new car, additive really help us, really help designers to do that in order to improve the total quality of the new model that will come. Some example, you can see an intake manifold, the colored part. This was realized in plastic and was put on a prototype car and run thousands of kilometers just to test and validate the airflow that has an impact on the engine performances. And in the same way, we produced filter air boxes, ducts, bumpers, and so on for many tests, aerodynamic, in the wind tunnel, and on bench testing. But what I've said up to now, for me, and I think it's for you, is the same. It's an usual approach, a usual use, of additive. It's normal. The step forward we can do, and that we are trying to do, is the design for additive. We know that printers are fast, materials are good. We can change idea every day. But what is the main characteristic? The most important characteristic or advantage that additive can bring us is the freedom of design. You can really design a part forgetting the traditional process constraints. So we are doing that. We are trying to do it. And this is an example. This was a study, a project that we did last year. The part you see is a differential bracket of an actual Fiat model, and it's made of cast iron. It's made with this material because the cast process has some constraints and didn't allow to use aluminum to do that. Well, we decided to redesign it completely, change the material, and we chose aluminum. So we followed the normal process to redesign a part. So we start with the design space definition. We put all the loads and constraints of this part. We optimize the shape, the geometry, with some specific tools and software. For example, the topology optimization. And we, after many loops, we run the finite element analysis. Well, the result was really impressive. We passed from 1.4 kilos to 0.6. Changing material, okay, but it was a big result for us. And this was, for us, the demonstration of the high potential that additive can bring to an automotive field. Can you imagine how many parts can be redesigned, forgetting the normal process constraints? Can you imagine what does lighter car, lighter structure mean for an automotive car maker as FCA or for SEAT and many others? It means lower emissions if you think about a fuel engine car, or a longer battery charge for an hybrid or full electric car. So it's, this is the innovation, I think, because today using additive to make a replication of a normal part, okay, it's prototyping for me. The innovation is to go to design for additive to really change the mindset of our designers, just to exploit really the potential of these technologies. Of course, sorry, I forgot. We test on a bench this part, and the results were very, very good. So we reached all the performances that was required. But talk about the productivity. To print this part, it took 15 hours. It's a lot or not? It's not a lot if you think about a niche or small production series. It's half a day. But it's really, really too much if you think about to produce thousands of parts per day, so a small, big, serious production. So that's why for FCA, the perspective of FCA in additive passes through innovation. For us, innovation means skills and competencies, means the development of new system, or new additive systems ready to production, so very, very speed system. We need the cost of material lower cost, because it's another important issue. And to do that, about skills and competencies, of course, we continue to collaborate with the universities, both Italian and international, to develop our skill internally in FCA. And from this year, we have resources that are participating to the second level master in design for additive with Polytechnic of Turin. But university is one of the partners. The other partners are suppliers, because we need to develop on one side the software, dedicated software for the optimization, but mainly for the simulation of the process, just to avoid some failures and to increase in this way the production rate of additive. On the other side, we need to collaborate with suppliers to speed up their systems, to make them reliable, and to develop the quality process control that we need, because we need to certify our products. And we are applying that on some projects, international or regional funded projects.